Recap. Alchemy Emperor of the Divine Dao, Chapter 10-21, Chapter Rash. Within the quiet courtyard granted them, where shadows of bamboo swayed beneath the dimming sky, Shui Yanyu's brows drew tightly together, her voice cutting through the stillness with sharp clarity. This place, it is strange, too strange, far too suspicious. Ling Han gave a slow nod, the corners of his lips lifting as though amused by her keen insight. As expected of my wife, your brilliance shines brighter than the morning sun. Shu Yanyu shot him a sidelong glare, her tone laced with irritation. Are you trying to show off that you noticed it earlier than me? Ling Han only smiled wider, utterly unbothered. Everything I have achieved is inseparable from your teachings. After all, weren't you once my teacher? At those words, her cheeks flushed involuntarily, a soft shade of red blooming across her otherwise composed face. Indeed, there had been a time when she had guided him as a teacher. But now, that same man had nearly dragged her into his embrace more times than she could count. Though their relationship had long since transcended that of teacher and student, the memory of it still stirred an indescribable embarrassment within her heart. Shaking off her thoughts, Shui Yanyu refocused, her gaze turning serious once more. That Kuide, he clearly did not want us investigating anything. He said the people here rest early, yet he himself stood guard late into the night. That is no coincidence. He was watching us. Ling Han's expression grew thoughtful, yet there was a glimmer of excitement hidden within his eyes. Unfortunately for them, I am someone who thrives on curiosity. The more they try to hide something from me, the more I want to uncover it. This time, Shui Yanyu did not oppose him. Instead, she nodded slightly, her voice lowering as she asked, "Then, shall we sneak out again tonight?" Ling Han's answer came with unexpected calm. "No. Tonight, we sleep." For a moment, Shui Yanyu stared at him as though she had heard something absurd. Her mind reeled. Has he lost himself again? What kind of logic is this? Before her frustration could erupt, Ling Han leaned forward and pressed a gentle kiss against her lips, silencing her protest. Then, with a steady voice, he explained, "Today is the first day we arrived. Our curiosity is at its peak, but so is their vigilance. The 5 people on this island are surely keeping a close watch on us. Unless we intend to turn hostile immediately, there is no way we can leave unnoticed tonight." Shui Yanyu paused, her expression softening as she absorbed his reasoning. Then, tomorrow? Ling Han's gaze turned distant as though measuring unseen currents. We'll adapt according to the situation. His tone was firm, grounded. This valley, beautiful as it seemed, was a natural stronghold, easy to defend, yet nearly impossible to assault. There was only one entrance and exit, a narrow path that turned the entire place into a trap. Since they had already stepped inside willingly, any rash move could lead to disaster. Shui Yanyu responded softly, nodding in agreement. Gradually, she found herself trusting Ling Han more and more, allowing him to take the lead without hesitation. To ensure absolute safety, the two of them entered the Black Tower once more. Within that boundless space, Shui Yanyu sat down to cultivate, her aura gradually calming as she immersed herself in steady refinement. Meanwhile, Ling Han turned his attention to alchemy once again, focusing entirely on the Heavenly Pearl pill. He had to succeed, and soon. Not only would the pill accelerate his cultivation, it would also bring immense wealth. In this vast world of cultivation, power was never separated from resources. In the past, it had been gold and silver. Then came origin crystals. Now, it was true origin stones. Though the forms changed, the essence remained the same. Without wealth, cultivation could not advance. As time flowed silently through the night, Ling Han's hands moved with increasing precision, flames dancing under his control like obedient spirits. At last, as dawn approached, a faint smile appeared on his face. He was getting closer, closer to success. With the night behind them, the two exited the Black Tower. After a simple breakfast, they stepped out of their courtyard. Outside, the group gathered once more. Yang Tiecheng and several others appeared refreshed, their expressions steady and alert. These were seasoned travelers, men who had faced countless dangers. Even in a place that seemed peaceful, they would never fully let their guard down. But others, like Jin Shihui, bore a different demeanor. Their faces were relaxed, their eyes bright from restful sleep. Clearly, they lacked the same vigilance, having allowed themselves to be lulled into a false sense of security. As for Luo Wu and Fan Yong, Their hostility toward Ling Han remained undisguised. Killing intent flickered in their eyes like hidden blades. Yet now their situation had changed. They were guests here, reliant on others. With Yang Ticheng present, they dared not act recklessly. At that moment, Guo Xuwen approached them, still seated atop his puppet tiger as though it were an extension of his very being. It was almost as if he had forgotten how to walk on his own. Yet Ling Han could not help but wonder. Puppets, after all, were akin to God, tools capable of awakening. Was this constant reliance merely habit or caution? Everyone, Guo Xuwen greeted with a smile. What a coincidence. My master has just come out of seclusion today, and he wishes to meet you all. The group exchanged glances before responding politely. Then we must pay our respects to Lord Island Master. Guo Xuwen nodded, his expression warm. My master is a master puppeteer, skilled in crafting all kinds of wondrous creations. With his help, building a sturdy ship for your departure will not be difficult. At those words, a spark lit in everyone's hearts. No one here intended to spend the rest of their lives in seclusion within this valley. Led by Guo Xuwen, they made their way to the manor's main hall. The hall was vast, over 30 meters wide, its ceiling soaring 15 meters high. It resembled a grand palace more than a simple residence. At the far end, seated calmly, was an old man. Though he remained seated, his presence was towering. His frame so large that even sitting, he rivaled the height of a standing man. In sheer size, he was comparable to Yang Ticheng. I am Pei Ji, the old man introduced, offering only a slight nod. A faint smile appeared on his lips. Forgive my lack of courtesy. I cannot stand. I lost my legs long ago. With that, he lifted his robe. Below the knee, there was nothing. It was clear his legs had not been missing from birth. Whether through battle or accident, they had been severed, leaving him permanently crippled. It's all right, everyone quickly reassured. Peiji's gaze swept over them calmly. I have already learned of your circumstances. Fortunately, I have the necessary materials. I will construct a small ship for you. It will take at least 5 days, at most 10. Once it is complete, I will inform you. During this time, you may rest and enjoy the peace of this place. Thank you, Lord Island Master, the group responded with genuine gratitude. As a puppeteer, his craftsmanship was undoubtedly extraordinary. Peiji gave a slight nod. If any of you are interested in puppetry, you may consult my disciples. I hope this art may flourish and be passed on to more people. The room stirred with surprise. Puppetry, like supreme martial techniques, was considered a treasured art, rarely shared with outsiders. Yet here he was, offering it openly. Even Shui Yanyu hesitated inwardly. Had they been too suspicious? Could such a generous man truly harbor ill intentions? Peiji spoke with them for a while longer, though the conversation was largely formal and without substance. Soon after, he excused himself, stating that he would begin constructing the ship immediately. Naturally, everyone welcomed this decision and took their leave. Before they departed, Guo Xuwen added with a smile, If you are curious about puppetry, feel free to seek us out. We will take turns teaching you. As long as you have talent, we will not hide anything. Excitement rippled through the group as many eagerly agreed. Ling Han, however, remained unmoved. He already walked 2 demanding paths, alchemy and martial arts. Even these strained his time and energy. Adding another discipline would only burden him further. More importantly, he believed in his own strength. No matter how powerful a puppet was, it remained an external object. In contrast, alchemy allowed him to refine pills that directly strengthened himself. Shui Yanyu, on the other hand, showed interest. She wished to test whether she possessed talent in this art. But Ling Han quickly dissuaded her. His doubts had not been erased so easily. To avoid unforeseen danger, it was better that they remain together. Without delay, he pulled her away from the manor. Now that their meeting was over, there should be no reason to detain them. Yet just as they reached the gates, Brother Ling, Miss Shui planning to go out, a voice called out. Turning, they saw Bu Zhengyun approaching, seated atop a black ape puppet. The sight only deepened Ling Han's suspicion. Even Peiji had lost his legs. Could it be that these people relied on puppets not merely out of convenience, but necessity? Ling Han masked his thoughts behind a calm smile. Yes, it is rare to find such beautiful scenery. We thought to take a walk. Bu Zhengyun chuckled lightly. Then allow me to accompany you. The air remained tranquil. Yet beneath that tranquility, something unseen stirred. The winds over Earth's core island carried a quiet unease, like a hidden current beneath still waters. No matter whether Linghan and Shu Yanyu welcomed it or not, Bu Zhengyun attached himself to them like a shadow that refused to disperse. With a smile that never quite reached his eyes, he declared that as the host, it was only natural for him to accompany his guests, guiding them, showing them the sights, ensuring their comfort. Yet his hospitality clung too tightly. Wherever Linghan stepped, Bu Zhengyun followed. Each turn, each glance, each idle movement, nothing escaped his attention. His presence could be called warm and attentive, or, perhaps more truthfully, a silent form of surveillance. At first, Linghan had intended to wander deeper into the village, to observe its hidden corners and unspoken truths. But the moment he strayed from the main road, Bu Zhengyun would immediately intervene. With polite words masking firm intent, he would block their path. The villagers value their peace, he would say with a courteous smile. They do not appreciate being disturbed. Even casual conversation with passers-by was subtly forbidden. The more Bu Zhengyun attempted to conceal the village's secrets, the more those secrets seemed to scream for attention. Suspicion grew within Linghan's heart like a coiled serpent. Yet he did not act. The island master's forces were not to be provoked lightly, not yet. And so, after a brief and superficial stroll, Linghan chose to retreat, returning to the manor with quiet restraint. Within those walls, the group's paths had already begun to diverge. Luowu and Fan Yong had thrown themselves wholeheartedly into seeking out Guo Shiwen, eager to learn the mysterious art of puppetry. To them, this was not merely a skill, it was a ladder to greater heights. If they succeeded, their futures would transform. One could secure influence within his clan, rising above his peers. The other could sever his dependence on Zhao Lun, forging his own path and establishing his own power. Driven by ambition, the two pursued this opportunity with relentless enthusiasm. Lu Ying, who had initially shown little interest, gradually found herself drawn in as well. Before long, she too was frequently absent, her footsteps echoing toward the same path of learning. In contrast, young Tiecheng remained unwavering in his desire to return home. His thoughts never strayed from that single goal. Jin Jihui, meanwhile, saw nothing in the world but the art of swordsmithing. Yin Yuanxiang continued to live in quiet isolation, detached and distant as ever, and Futian, his heart held no space for anything beyond cultivation itself. Thus, as days drifted by like falling leaves, the group scattered along their own pursuits. One day passed, then another, then another. Luowu, Fan Yong, and Lu Ying did not return. It was as if they had been swallowed whole by the world of puppetry, lost in its intricate allure. By the seventh day, Guo Shiwen personally came to invite Linghan and Shui Yanyu. His eyes shone with unmistakable excitement. The puppet he had been crafting was nearing completion. Linghan had no interest in becoming a puppeteer. Such a path did not call to him. But curiosity, that he possessed in abundance. What power did these puppets truly hold? What secrets lay behind their lifeless forms? Thus he agreed without hesitation, accompanying Shui Yanyu into the depths of the manor, to the workshop where these creations were born. There were two workshops within, one large, one small. The smaller workshop belonged solely to Pei Ji, a sacred domain even his 5 disciples could not enter without explicit permission. The larger workshop, however, was where they now stood. Here, Pei Ji instructed his disciples. Here, the art of puppetry was practiced, refined, and brought to life. The space was vast, divided into numerous rooms. The walls were thick, the soundproofing meticulous. Without such measures, the relentless hammering and forging would have shattered any hope of peace. As they walked, Guo Shiwen spoke, his voice filled with fervor. The creation of a puppet demands precision in every step, he explained. From the selection of materials to the carving of formation patterns to the placement of true origin stones. His words flowed without pause as he led them into a room, his personal domain. The space was immense. Tools lay scattered across tables, rare materials gleamed in the corners. The air itself seemed to hum with latent energy. I have been crafting a human-shaped puppet these past few days, he said, his tone tinged with pride. It is now approaching its final stage. For once, he was not mounted upon his tiger-shaped puppet, yet the beast remained by his side, silent and watchful. From behind, it was indistinguishable from a living tiger, but from the front, Its eyes betrayed it. Two crimson gems sat where living pupils should be, gleaming coldly in the light. Guo Shuwen gestured toward a figure in the room. A human-shaped puppet. Its entire body was wrapped tightly in white bandages, concealing its true composition. Only its form revealed its nature. As he approached it, his expression shifted, becoming almost reverent. The ultimate achievement of a puppeteer, he said softly, is to create something that can pass as real. His fingers trembled slightly as they brushed against the puppet's surface. Please, he added, stepping aside, take a closer look. With practiced movements, he opened the puppet's chest. Inside, there was nothing. No flesh, no organs, only structure. 12 rib-like bones curved inward, gleaming with a faint golden hue, not white but pale gold, like something forged rather than grown. These bones have undergone special treatment, Guo Shuwen explained. Each is layered with godly metal. The grade of metal varies depending on the puppet's level. For this one, level 3, godly metal is sufficient. His hands moved swiftly as he continued his work, even while speaking. Observe carefully, he said. Each bone is engraved with formation patterns. This is the heart of the puppet's function. He tapped lightly against one of the ribs. A puppet is not alive. Every movement, every action, it all relies on these formations. His eyes gleamed with intensity. If the patterns are not perfectly coordinated, then chaos ensues. A punch may strike forward while the legs retreat. Such a creation would be worthless. He spoke without pause, immersed entirely in his craft, unconcerned whether his audience followed or not. The final step, he reached for a set of stones, each radiating dense, condensed energy, is to insert the true origin stones. He turned suddenly toward Shui Yanyu, a faint smile forming on his lips. Miss Shui, he said, would you care to activate it yourself? Shui Yanyu's expression stiffened. She shook her head at once. Though she understood it was merely a construct, the thought of placing those stones into something shaped like a human body stirred a deep discomfort within her. Guo Shuwen laughed lightly. I see, he said, not pressing further. Then his tone shifted, soft, almost philosophical. No matter how powerful a being may be, they will eventually perish. His gaze lingered on Shui Yanyu. And no matter how beautiful a woman may be, there will come a day when her beauty fades. One stone, then another. He inserted them one by one into the puppet's hollow core. His eyes grew heated as he continued speaking. Miss Shui, with your beauty, your form, such perfection should be preserved forever, frozen in time, untouched by decay. Ling Han's voice cut through the air like a blade. That is none of your concern, Brother Guo. Guo Shuwen blinked, then laughed awkwardly. Ah, my apologies. I spoke out of turn. He quickly sealed the puppet's chest, not with thread, but with interlocking metal rings that clasped shut, each anchored deep into the spine. Then he stepped back, his face transformed, no longer merely proud, fanatical. Now, he whispered, watch closely. A faint hum filled the room. Wang, the puppet's eyes snapped open. In an instant, it rose to its feet. For a brief moment, it seemed disoriented, its head turning slowly as if searching for something. Guo Shuwen spoke from the side, his voice tinged with excitement. Within the Earth's core cave, a mysterious substance seeps out once every year. We call it divine mist. He gestured toward the puppet. When this mist is integrated into a puppet, it produces unexpected results. The puppet's gaze locked onto Ling Han. Gone was its aimless scanning. In its place, a predatory focus. Through the narrow gaps in its bandages, its eyes gleamed with a savage light, like a wolf that had found its prey. A low, guttural roar escaped its throat. Then it moved. Its legs kicked off the ground with explosive force, its body surging forward in a blur. Its speed was astonishing. One arm shot forward, fingers extended. Two of those fingers were exposed, metallic, gleaming, razor-sharp, exuding a chilling light. Ling Han did not retreat. He stepped forward instead. His fist met the attack head-on. Peng! The collision rang out like thunder. Ling Han was forced back several steps, his feet carving into the ground. The puppet, however, merely swayed before stabilizing almost instantly. Another shrill cry, another charge. Ling Han's eyes narrowed. Its strength, at least mid-stage high extreme, perhaps even late-stage mountain river tier. As he activated his gravity divine patterns, the puppet faltered, its movement disrupted as it nearly stumbled. Yet Ling Han frowned. Even with his advantage, he felt strain, heavy, unnaturally heavy. A realization dawned upon him. The difference between lifting a stone and lifting a mountain was immeasurable. The same force applied to both would yield vastly different results. And this puppet, its frame was forged with godly metal. Its weight must be terrifying. But one question lingered. Why? Why had it attacked him? Goshuan had given no command. And yet, boom, boom. The puppet pressed forward relentlessly, its attacks unceasing, its intent clear. It was not testing him, it was trying to kill him.